Hi, folks. Michael Cohen here on WCTC 1450 and WCTC.com. We are going to the Central Jersey Newsmakers Hotline to welcome in our weekly guest. The Somerset Patriots, of course, are in the thick of the playoff race in the Atlantic League, and who better to talk about what the Patriots are up to right now than the manager of the Somerset Patriots, Jodie. Brett, how are you doing?
Doing great, Michael. How about yourself?
Fantastic, Brett. And the Patriots had a great day the other day. I like to call these, when you have these kind of wins, a walk-off Wednesday, if you will, as you guys win in extra innings against Lancaster. That was a huge win for you guys the other day.
It really was. You know, we were talking about before the game, like, when's the last time we had a walk-off win? It seems like we set records for, amount of walk-off wins and dumping the Gatorade shower on somebody, when they score the winning run or get the base, game-winning hit or something. So it was really nice to see and get that win for us and really a hard-fought contest. We had some opportunities to tie it up or go ahead earlier in the game and just couldn't do it. I think we were down 3-0 in that game, I believe, and just chipped away and tied it back up in the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs with a key base hit from Craig Massey, and then bottom of the 10th or top of the 10th, Luis Cruz went out there, and obviously they start with the runner on second, the extra inning rule, and they got a bunt base hit, so they got first and third with no outs, and we managed to get out of it. Turned a great double play to keep them at no runs for that inning, and then we came in, had a base hit, and then an out, and then a sac fly where Pacioli had a great slide into home. So very exciting game, very exciting contest, and it was good to get a win in that fashion and just a win period.
You mentioned Luis Cruz. He has been pitching great for you the last couple of times out. His last 2 outings, 4 innings pitched, no earned runs. He's gotten you a win. He's gotten you a save. Is he now, at least in your mind, your late inning guy, your go-to guy in the late innings? I know you've gone through Antonini and you've gone through Cheshire, and both of those guys have moved on to other places. Is Luis Cruz that guy right now moving forward here for the next 5 weeks?
I'll tell you what, that's a tough hole to fill. Anytime you lose your closer, and Antonini had 25-plus saves, I think, and he moved on, like you said. And then we got Cheshire in here, realized really quickly he was pretty special, so we put him in that role, and probably after 3 or 4 opportunities, he gets picked up. So you always say, we'll just plug the next guy in, but it's not always easy to have that mentality and find a guy that can fit that role. Luis is a hybrid guy for us. I do feel confident in him closing, but sometimes it's hard to get to that 9th inning with a lead. So we may need to use him earlier in the game in a big inning, just to try to get that far in the game. So I don't label him as the closer right now. I label him as just a big time pitcher for us that we need to put up a 0. So it can happen anytime, probably from the 6th to the 9th to the 10th or whatever. Anytime we need a big 0, we looked at him. So we're still trying to find that depth in the bullpen. We've added a lot of new arms since we've lost so many. You got to add new ones and kind of find where they fit in best and plug them into the best possible scenarios, and which is best for them and the team. So that's always a tough process to figure all that out, and you can't sacrifice games while you're doing it. So that's kind of what we're going through right now. But we do feel like we have some good arms. We're trying to get some innings under their belt so we can get a better feel of where they fit in. But like I said, Luis has been very stable for us and been a pillar for us really all year, and we feel good about any role we put him in right now.
Absolutely, and let's flip to the other side of the equation here with the offense. Alfredo Rodriguez gets you the game-winning RBI. Obviously, he's been hitting the ball well for you all year, but the standout yesterday was Mike Krause, 3 for 4, a big home run for you guys as well.
Some guys are hitting the ball hard, like you said. Alfredo Rodriguez has been hitting the ball hard all year. His average doesn't really show it, but he's really been putting together some good ABs. He was pretty much the MVP of our team last year, so if he can start producing some more RBIs and getting on base, and Krause, if he has more games like he had on Wednesday, obviously that helps because we know his potential also. When he gets on base, he's just like Pacioli. When he gets on base, he can steal second, third, be sitting there at third with no outs or whatever. So there's a lot of good potential there, but it's time, it's getting time in the season where we got to go ahead and be consistent and get things done.
I have to ask you this. With the new changes that have come about in the Atlantic League that MLB is testing, and they revealed some new changes in the second half of the season, like the pitcher required to step off the rubber, the check swing rule made more batter friendly. How has this changed up some of the way you manage, or changed up some of the approaches that maybe even your pitchers take?
Well, that's the tough part. Look, when we're building our team before the season, we kind of know how baseball rules are, and they did throw some new ones at us at the beginning of the season, but we were still able to kind of figure out a way to combat those and add the players we wanted to. Well, when they put in the rules in the second half, we have the players that we have, so you kind of have to adapt on the fly. And every team has to do that, so I'm not going to sit here and say it's unfair for us versus another team, but every team's unique in what their strengths are and what their weaknesses are and stuff like that. If we got a bunch of pitchers that are slow to the plate but had really good pickoff moves, then we're okay. But if now we're just slow to the plate and can't really use a pickoff move, then it affects you greatly, you know. So, and obviously there's a lot of things like that throughout all the rules. So the TrackMan, for example, has not been very kind to our hitters. When I say that, they just have not made the adjustment very well. Now, have other teams done a better job of that? You know, I don't know. I've talked about it plenty. I don't feel like we're talking about it as much, which is good, but it's still affecting a lot of games. I mean, I had an umpire come to me, and I won't mention who, but he came to me the other day, and he's like, this is a shame that you guys are, you know, basically busting your tail to get runners out there in score position, and then this, you know, these pitches are being called on you guys. I'm like, yeah, that's what we've been going through. So, we're, you know, and I'm not trying to badmouth TrackMan or anything. We're trying to get there together collectively, but it's just not as consistent as I'd like it to be yet. You know, but that's the nature of the beast. We all have to make the best of it. We have to be strong enough mentally to turn it into a positive somehow and get past it and just move on and play some baseball. And that's what we're trying to do. And collectively, I think we've done a pretty good job with that.
Last question for you, Britt. You guys got 5 weeks to go. You're chasing down the High Point Rockers, 4.5 games out of the last wild card spot. Really, if you have a message for the players, what would that be right now as you hit the stretch drive?
Yeah, I think everybody's on the same page. They know what we need to do. We've had a lot of meetings. I'm not going to say I'm not going to have another one before the end of the year, but we've done a lot of talking, a lot of communicating. I think everybody collectively is on the same page of trying to move forward and make a push, and we're trying to get hot and get things rolling and get clicking on all cylinders, and that's easier said than done. You can't just snap your fingers and start winning games, but it's time to just get consistent and collectively pick each other up, have each other's back, and play hard and see what happens. And you can live with that, whatever the result may be. And I do feel like the effort's there. I feel like the desire is there. So I'm really happy about that. I do like the group of guys. They just need to play up to their standards, and I know they're expecting that. And whether they're putting too much pressure on themselves or not enough, you know, it's kind of hard to tell. I'm trying to take some of the pressure off because, you know, that's something definitely not going to help you out usually when you're trying to overcome certain things. So they just need to be strong mentally, be positive, and see what happens.
Absolutely. Brett, always a pleasure. Glad to talk to you tonight. And again, good luck this weekend as you guys head down to Maryland.
I appreciate that, Michael. Sounds good. Thank you.
Take care. And that is Brett Jodie, the manager of the Somerset Patriots, folks. And you can catch him and the Patriots right here on the flagship for Patriots Baseball, WCTC 1450 and WCTC.com.